What's happening? I just got done teaching the budget method to my last session, and I wanted to record a quick video on it while it was fresh and revisit this because I've done another video on it before, but I just feel like I could do it better. So quick testimony, I used to be an overweight, unathletic kid. I've been able to have visible ab definition 12 months out of the year, 4 years on end, and still enjoy myself regularly and excel in my workouts. So if that all sounds good to you, I highly recommend this budget method. By the way, if you don't know who I am, my name is Justin Cutler. I'm the founder of Empower Inc. Coaching, where I help millennials get to a healthier place with minimal space, equipment, and time. Okay, so what is the budget method? I essentially have 3 pillars that I want to introduce. So pillar number 1 is protein and produce, okay? Let's quick definition on what I mean by protein, because there's lots of different kinds of protein out there. But if your protein's not lean, meaning it's not low fat, in my opinion, you're wasting lots of calories and unknowingly consuming a lot of calories that you really don't need from those protein sources. So some examples of lean protein. We have lean meats like chicken breast, chicken thigh. We have lean cuts of steak, turkey, ground turkey. We have eggs, egg whites. We have cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and then as an option, some protein powder. All of those are examples of lean protein sources. To give you an even deeper definition on what I mean by lean, for me, this is just a rule that's worked for me for years. If it has less than 10 grams of fat per serving, I'm usually going to eat that. So when you pick up a chicken sausage, for example, at the store, flip it over, and as long as the fat content is under 10 grams, I will usually grab that. Okay, so just a quick rule of thumb there. So protein and then produce. Pretty simple. That's just fruits and vegetables. As long as your nutrition is made up of 70 to 80% lean protein and produce, unless you're dousing all of this in ranch dressing, even that alone, if you were to just stick to that pillar, is really hard to screw up and will get you very far. Why? Because filling up on lots of lean protein will fill you up because it's the most filling out of protein, carbs, and fats. And so by having, I always say, at least 1 to 2 cups of a lean protein source at every meal is going to help ensure that you're getting enough lean protein. Because I've assessed hundreds of food logs over the years, most people undereat lean protein. And then next is produce. We have fruits and vegetables, which are typically really low in calorie and high in fiber and water. So you're going to get filled up on fewer calories and nourished from all the vitamins, minerals, and fiber that come in fruits and vegetables. So again, make most of your nutrition, protein and produce, and that alone will change things a lot for you, okay? Pillar number 2, and where sort of the budget method came from, is think of your favorite treat meal, right? So is it a burger and fries? Is it sushi? Is it pizza? Most of the time when you think of those meals, out of protein, carbs, and fats, what do those contain the most of? Most of the time, there's lots of carbs, lots of fat, and little to no protein, right? So like sushi, you have the fish, so there is some protein there, but then you have all the rice, which is lots of carbs, and you have lots of fats from the fish, avocado, the oils, the sesame seeds. Nothing wrong with those things, but it's important to know that, because if you know that you're going out to sushi, for example, tonight, you know that you're going to be spending a lot of your carbs and a lot of your fats on that meal and not have a lot of protein. So what should the rest of your meals look like leading up to that so you can budget for it? Lots of lean protein and then just little to no carbs and fats. This is not an exact science, but then again, neither is nutrition in general. Quick example of what would a high protein, low carb and fat meal look like. I'll just give you some of mine. So I knew I was having pork nachos the other night for dinner, which again, lots of carbs, lots of fats, a little bit of protein. And so a low carb, high protein, low fat meal for me would be things like a giant bowl of meat with some low calorie sauce on top, and then an apple or 2. Or sometimes I have what I call meat cereal. Okay, it's actually from Ryan Fisher, who's another coach on the internet. So you literally, just like it sounds, take some meat, heat it up, maybe some low-calorie sauce, and then just eat it straight up with a spoon. Getting lots of lean protein, and you're saving lots of your carbs and fats. Another example would be a salad with, again, a couple cups of lean protein, and then just make sure you're watching how much dressing you're putting on there, okay? Hopefully that helps give you some examples. So again, just to review before I move on, pillar number 1, 70 to 80% of your intake should be lean protein. That's under 10 grams of fat per serving and lots of fruits and vegetables. Pillar number 2, if you know that you're going to be enjoying yourself at some point in the day, then budget the rest of your meals accordingly. Just do the opposite. And then pillar number 3, and this is just kind of a general prescription in what I've found to work really well for just a general template for success in your nutrition. Now, don't look at this as half of your plate needs to be protein, half needs to be produce, although that's not a bad formula. I'm just doing this for just a quick example. So the average person eats anywhere between 3 to 4 times a day, right? There's a high chance you do. So as long as most of your meals are lean protein and produce, like we talked about, lean protein, produce, protein, produce, protein, produce, and then you pick 1, maybe 2 meals to have a starchy carbohydrate, your rice, your bread, your pasta, your potatoes, things like that. That is a general template that, again, is really hard to screw up. Why is this successful? Again, it's because you are filling up on lots of lean protein and produce, and then you are just budgeting out the starchy carbs. Now, the starchy carbs are not the enemy. They get demonized a lot, but the problem with them can sometimes be they're easier to overeat. So here's the example I always use. You take a cup of cooked pasta and a cup of strawberries. For the calories, in a cup of cooked pasta, there's probably around 200 calories depending on the type. In a cup of strawberries, there's like 40 calories. You're going to have strawberries coming out of your ears before you overeat strawberries. Whereas, let's be honest, who has just 1 cup of cooked pasta? Like, come on, right? And so by choosing, being a little bit more selective on when you're having starch, you're still allowing yourself to have those things because they're good for you. They make me personally feel strong. I definitely feel a negative difference when I'm not having them. But in choosing when you have them, you're just making sure that you're not overeating them in a simple way. So again, I wanted to keep this video under 8 minutes. The 3 pillars, protein and produce, 70 to 80%. If you know you're going to have a meal that is off of your plan, budget your macros accordingly, and then pick 1 to 2 meals to have your starch. Every other meal just has protein and produce. That is a winning formula that's allowed me to stay lean year-round and enjoy myself. Please like and subscribe and share this video if it helps. Talk to you next time.